Hi there, if you're watching this, chances are you've got a job interview coming up. First of all, congratulations. That means you're already one step closer to getting hired. This video is here to help you nail that interview and actually land the job you want, not just survive the conversation, but truly stand out. Now, if we haven't met yet, I'm Eden. I'm a former HR director and I've interviewed hundreds, maybe even thousands of candidates across different industries. I've been on the other side of the table more times than I can count. So today, I'm giving you the inside scoop. Let's dive into exactly what you need to know to ace any job interview step by step. All right, first thing first, do your homework. The last thing you want is to show up to the interview totally clueless. If you call the company by the wrong name or not even knowing what they do, well, that's a fast way to ruin your chances. When you are genuinely interested in something, you get curious. So show that curiosity. Show that you care enough to learn before you walk in. There are 4 key areas you need to research ahead of time. First, the industry. Know who the major players are, who the competitors are. It helps you understand where the company stands. Second, the company. Visit their website, learn about their CEO, their products or services, look for any recent news, and most importantly, understand their mission, culture, and values. This shows you are not just looking for any job, you're looking to be part of their team. Third, the position. You want to carefully read the job description, understand what skills, knowledge, and experience they're looking for. Think about how your background matches up, and be ready to talk about it. Fourth, the interviewer. This one is about building connection. Look them up on LinkedIn, learn their name, see their background. Maybe you went to the same school, work at the same company, or even share a hobby. And don't worry, it's totally fine if they see you viewed their profile. Honestly, if someone checks out my LinkedIn before an interview, I actually take it as a sign that they care enough to prepare. It's a plus in my book. And if they bring up something we have in common, even better. I feel more connected to them. Even if I know they're trying to build rapport, it still works. Step number 2 is key. Go the extra mile. Now, let's take it a step further. Go beyond what's expected. This is how you stand out and become unforgettable. At the end of the day, hiring decisions aren't made by machines, they're made by people. And people don't just pick the one with the best resume or the longest experience. They pick the one who leaves a strong impression. So don't just tell them you are capable. Show it. Show your curiosity, your initiative, and your passion. This is your chance to stand out from a sea of similar-looking candidates. Let me give you an example from my own life. Back in college, I applied for a marketing internship at a Fortune 500 company. I didn't have any big brand experience, and honestly, other candidates had either master's degrees or tons of corporate background. I knew I couldn't beat them on paper, but I did my homework. I studied the company's website, their digital campaigns, even the UI UX design. Then I looked at their competitors and put together a simple analysis. What worked, what didn't, and some ideas to improve it. I turned that into a visual presentation, printed it out, and brought it to the interview. That's how I showed I was a doer without saying a word. And guess what? I got the job. So remember this, they might not hire the person with the fanciest degree or shiniest resume. They hire the person who leaves a mark, the person they remember. Here are a few quick ideas for how you can go the extra mile based on your role. For example, if you're a software engineer, you can check out their GitHub or app and suggest one small feature improvement or bug fix. If you're in customer service, you can write a sample response to a customer review you found online. You get the idea. Before we get to the next step, if you haven't already, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. I share tips on careers, personal finance, and self-development right here on this channel, and I would love to have you along for this journey. Step number 3 is all about practicing your answers to the most common interview questions. You don't need to sound robotic, but you do want to be ready. Some questions almost always come up, like, tell me about yourself, or why do you want this job, or why do you want to join this company? What is your greatest strength? What is your biggest weakness? You can also check Glassdoor for interview questions specific to that company. Candidates often share exactly what they were asked there. Super helpful. Also, think about why they picked you for the interview in the first place. Maybe you've had similar responsibilities before, or maybe you've already worked with the same tools or system they use. Reconfirm their belief that you are a great fit by highlighting those things early in the conversation. Now, here's one of the most powerful tools you can use. Build an example reservoir. And with each example, use the STAR method: situation, task, action, result. Come up with at least 10 strong examples from your past experiences. Each one should show different qualities like leadership, problem solving, teamwork, communication, or something else. That way, when they ask a behavioral question like, tell me about a time you handled a conflict, you're not scrambling. You can quickly pull the right story from your example bank. And here's another secret that most people skip. Record yourself answering those questions. Seriously, just use your phone. And then watch the recording. You will immediately notice things you didn't realize. Maybe your posture is slouched, your tone is too flat, or you're saying some words way too often. Do this at least 3 times. Record, watch, make notes, and improve. Sit up straight, smile, be more enthusiastic and engaged. You don't need to be perfect, but you do want to show confidence and energy. Step number 4, build a great first impression. Let's not forget this one. First impressions count. Before you even answer a single question, the interviewer is already picking up signals. Here's how to make sure you start strong. Dress the part, smile, don't be late, be ready for small talk, and if it's a virtual interview, test everything in advance. You want to wear something that fits the company's culture and always lean slightly more professional than too casual, especially for that first meeting. About small talks, whether it's commenting on the weather, the office, or something you saw on their LinkedIn, small talk builds connection, and connection builds trust. If it's a virtual interview, check your internet connection. Make sure your camera and mic work. Choose a clean, quiet background. This shows that you are prepared and professional, even from home. The truth is, you never get a second chance to make a first impression. So take those few extra minutes to get it right. It sets the tone for the entire conversation. Step number 5 is a pro tip most candidates don't think about. Anticipate the interviewer's concerns and address them up front. Maybe you have a gap on your resume. Maybe you've had a few short-term jobs. Maybe your career path doesn't look very linear. If you think something might raise a red flag, don't wait for them to bring it up. You bring it up briefly, confidently, and honestly. For example, you could say, you might notice I took a break from work last year. That was actually a planned sabbatical to care for a family member. And now I'm fully ready to re-enter the workforce. Or you'll see I changed roles a few times earlier in my career. That was me trying to figure out the right fit. Now I know exactly the kind of role I'm excited to grow in, which is why I am here. This shows maturity, self-awareness, and confidence, and it helps take control of the conversation so you are not caught off guard later. It says to the interviewer, I know my story and I'm proud of how I got here. Step number 6, if you don't know something, show you can learn. Let's be real, you're not expected to know everything. Companies know that. They're not looking for perfection. They're looking for someone who can figure things out. So if they ask you something and you don't know, don't panic. What matters most is how you respond. Instead of guessing or freezing up, take a breath and show them your thinking process. Ask thoughtful questions. Walk them through how you would go about finding the answer. You could say something like, that's a great question. I haven't done that specifically, but here's how I would approach it. This shows you're not just giving up, you're problem solving. And here is another powerful tip. Use this moment to show your learning agility, how fast you can pick up new things. You might say, in my last role, I didn't know X at first either, but I picked it up quickly and used it to achieve Y result. That is impressive. That tells them you're resourceful, you're teachable, and you're not afraid to learn. And that's often more valuable than just having the perfect answer. Step number 7, ask questions at the end. It shows that you are engaged, thoughtful, and genuinely interested in this role and the company. Not sure what to ask? I've got you covered. Just click this video right here where I walk you through the best questions to ask at the end of an interview. Questions that can leave a lasting impression and help you decide if the job is really right for you.